Well, hello to everyone. It is Monday, December 28th, 2020, and we are on episode 15. Oh my goodness, I can't even believe it. 15 of Lessons and Legacies. Sorry. I got sidetracked because my phone beeped at me there. But yes, episode 15. Actually, this is technically my 17th episode because I had two half episodes. I think there was a 10 and a half and a 14 and a half for like bonus episodes. So this is technically the 17th live broadcast, even though it's officially episode 15. So happy to be here. I am your host, Melissa Price. This is Lessons and Legacies. This is a show that actually was mirrored after the brand new book that I just wrote this year with my mother, Renee Bodell. I am in Charlotte, North Carolina, and my mother is in Detroit, Michigan. The book actually is the reason why the show was made. We wrote this from states apart and with little technology. And the cool thing about it is that it was a collaboration. The purpose of the book was to show how much all of us, no matter our age, our race, our social status, our financial status, what our careers are, it shows how much we are knit together by our experiences in life, by the lessons that we learn, by the legacies that we leave, and that's what I'm trying to show you with the show. The book was so awesome to create and just see inside other people's hearts, to get a glimpse inside of other people's pasts, their lessons, their journeys, their stories. It was a real eye opener. Hey, Dr. Deborah, thank you for joining. Guess what? I've got some exciting news for you. I'll tell you in a minute. We're waiting for one more person to pop on here before I let you know. But anyways, yeah, it was such an incredible and humbling journey that people trusted me enough to be transparent and share the shit they've been through. Not all the stories in the book are pretty, but they all have pretty endings. Everything is uplifting and inspiring and whatnot. But, there are real life situations and journeys and divorce and bankruptcy and depression, things like that. They all have good endings because nobody in the book quit trying. The only way we can fail is to quit moving, correct? So everybody in the book actually pushed forward and therefore has a legacy to leave. So what I like to do with these shows, it's not always just me. I like to have guests throughout the week. Dr. Deb was one of my guests. Hey, Carolyn. Oh my gosh, Merry Christmas. It's good to see you. How are you doing? Is everybody staying healthy? I hope so. I hope you guys had a good feast and that everything was merry and bright. Our holiday was probably one of the best that we've had in a while. Even though it was not traditional, everything, of course, was different than what we're used to, but it was a nice welcomed break. Even the kids said that they enjoyed it. My oldest, you remember Charlotte, Carolyn used to be the florist at the teeter that we went to or that we still go to, but she moved to another store years ago. But she knew me back when I was pregnant with Charlotte, and I remember, I think it was her second birthday you came to with Megan and whatnot, but she watched the little ones grow up. So yeah, even Charlotte was saying, I feel like I'm dreaming. I feel like I need to wake up. This has been the best Christmas ever. And to me and my husband, who struggled like hell to make it so, and with the help of Grandma Joan or Mama Joan and my mom and others that helped, we were able to give them a holiday because it was tight this year, as I'm sure it was for all of you. Yes, Bug. That was her nickname. She doesn't even like to be called Bug anymore, if you can believe that. She prefers Charlie now. That is the preferred nickname. I still will pop out a Bug once in a while, but so yeah, I have guests that come on the show, and I wanted to give a visual to this experience, to this journey. For those of you who don't have your copy of the book, you can order your copy from my store. It's lessonsandlegacies.company.site. I'll pop it on the bottom of the screen for you right now. And it's also on Amazon, but Amazon likes to take a lot of my profit, pretty much half of it. So And I pay for the books. So I'm just saying, go through my store because there's art, there's greeting cards, essential oils, spirit squares, the books, not just from me, but from several other authors that some have been on the show, and just a plethora of other books for you to choose from too. But yeah, get your own copy. And if you're interested in coming on the show, you don't have to be somebody that contributed to this book. I've already had several people on who were just, interested and have been enjoying watching the show and listening to the stories and whatnot. If you want to come on the show, just email me, or, well, you can contact me on Facebook, Melissa Price, shoot me a message, or you can find Lessons and Legacies on YouTube. You can catch all 17 episodes that we have so far there and check out some of our other guests. We've had just such amazing people, brave, courageous people who were so awesome for coming on and sharing their stories. And by doing so, they're leaving their mark in this world. They're creating a legacy in this world so that other people can live and grow from it, and that takes courage. So today, I do have a guest today. She is going to be a few minutes in here. She's finishing her hair, but I do have, hey, what's going on? Chef Daddy, what you guys doing? Thank you for popping in. So we have Precious Pauling with me today. She'll be coming in here soon. She's just finishing getting her hair did. And so in the meantime, I will let you know what we're going to be talking about. And then I'm going to read you a little something from the book. And when she pops on, we're going to get our conversation rolling. And I sure hope that you guys are willing and ready to participate, because I feel like this is going to be a really powerful, awesome show. And it's been whirring around in my head all day. I've been inspired by other people's shows today, and they've planted seeds that I can't wait to share with you, and have given me guidance and direction as I've prayed to Lord for the upcoming days ahead of us. So today we are here, deviating slightly from the book, and we are doing your greatest lessons of 2020 and what legacy do you choose for 2021? So that's what we're going to be speaking about with Miss Precious this afternoon. Dr. Deborah says, I have an essential oil list I need to check for. Got to visit your website. Thank you for posting that, lessonsandlegacies.company.site. And listen, don't order anything until you call me, okay? Just message me and let me know what you want, because, we'll work it out. I want you to get the best possible situation. You always are there for me. I got to make sure that you get what you need and the good stuff. And I just want to take care of you like you always take care of me, Dr. Deb. So anyways, we're going to be going over our lessons of 2020. Oh my gosh, there have been so many. I happened to narrow mine down to 3. And one of them actually got put in my mind this morning while I was watching my friend William Brown on his morning Happy Today show. I've been getting repeat messages all day, and it's going to come through in our message, and I'm very excited to share. So in the meantime, I am going to read a poem from the book. I have decided what I want my legacy of 2021 to be. And while I'm waiting for Precious, I'm going to read a poem out of the book that's kind of centered around it. And I'll wrap it up at the end and make it all full circle for you. So just to prime the emotional pumps and the spiritual pumps, this is a poem I wrote for the book called Just Look Up. It is centered around faith and knowing that everything will work out for the good, for your good, for my good, for all of our good, the collective good. Okay? Because we must wet the whistle. All right. Just Look Up by Melissa Price. Just when you think it's going to be all right, you didn't give up and you won that fight. A blow comes through and knocks you down, stealing your thunder and seizing your crown. We all make mistakes, but boy, this one was bad. It dampened my spirit and it rendered me sad. I struggle and fight for what's right every day, but falling short is so common in this day and age. I know that I am favored by the Father above. So what can I do to portray his great love? Try as I might, I just seem to fail at finding that wind that propels my sail. Life is a journey with its ups and downs. And what would it be without laughter and clowns? Without screw ups and sadness, worry and grief? It's all these things that season our beliefs. If we were created by a love so pure, so unconditional, magical, unthought of, and obscure, how small are these problems that eat us alive? They haunt us and taunt us, yet they push us to strive. No matter the mountain, the rift, or valley, when God speaks his word, his troops always rally. You're never alone, so don't ever give up. When you need a sign, please just look up. It could be sunny one moment and then stormy weather. But when he comes through, man, it all comes together. In the midst of the rain, the sorrow and pain, if you feel like there might just be nothing to gain, just look up. This simple act of faith, man, it's all you need to do to be reminded every day of what he promised you. There will always be a rainbow high up above because he has afforded you his undying love. Thank you. So if you're feeling lost or cold, forgotten, meek, or mild, remember that he created you and that you are his precious child. If your feet have failed you, find the strength to get back up. You'll find he gives you everything when you just look up. I think that's probably my favorite poem that I wrote in the book, honestly. I'm not even lying. I'm not even trying to toot my horn or anything like that. I'm just saying that poem came to me in a matter of minutes. It was like the Holy Spirit started whispering to me one day and the pen started going. And in 15 minutes, that poem was birthed. And every time I read it, it gives me goosebumps, you know. My thing for 2021, so much about faith. That's that repeat message that I've been getting, you know. I have a mantra for 2021, and it's going to be mustard seeds move mountains. Somebody make me a shirt. Where is Precious? Precious, Carmelita, whoever makes shirts, I need a shirt that says mustard seeds move mountains. You know, everybody's heard of that mustard seed faith. All it takes is a faith the size of a mustard seed to move a mountain. Faith moves mountains. And in this time where everything is so uncertain, where we're waking up each day and not knowing what's going to come across the news, if we're going to have our health, if we're going to be able to pay the bills. I mean, just Christmas in itself for us was it's a miracle that it even got pulled off. Again, it was a group effort, and by the grace of God for putting everybody in our path to be part of that for us. But it's so uncertain. But like my mom was even telling me this afternoon when we spoke, these times when we're at our weakest are the times we need to hold on to that faith the hardest. She reminded me of a story she had in the book. Actually, I'll read it to you while I'm waiting for Precious to come on here. This is the story she reminded me of and I'll be real transparent because you guys know I am. I try to not have shame. I'm actually wearing my Highway to Purpose shirt from Precious today. And if you see what's all the way, if you're looking at it, I guess the bottom left, shame, pain. Shame. I try not to have a lot of shame when it comes to being transparent anyways. I do burden shame. I do shoulder the burden of shame from time to time, like as I've screwed up so many times along the way, but I try to not let it consume me. I try to not wear it, so to speak. But as I was crying to my mom this afternoon over financial woes, you know, unexpected bills being withdrawn from the account and overdrafts and all this stuff, as we just by the skin of our teeth sailed through Christmas. Just like, when is the struggle going to be done? We've had like such a hard 2 years, you know. Sophie had heart surgery last year. My husband broke 2 bones last year. We had pandemic this year. Like, the work and the money ain't been there. I've been doing my entrepreneurial stuff. I wrote a book. I've made greeting cards. I've made 2 websites. I've been doing videos. I've been doing it, but it ain't paying the bills. You know, I have been loving this. I've been enjoying it. And that's part of the thing I was crying to my mom about earlier, is like, man, I got to get a job. I hate working for the man more than anything in the whole wide world. I hate working for the man. You know, I have so much to offer. I believe there's so much worth what I do every day, not just to me, showing up and doing these videos to every day is worth more than any penny anybody could ever put out there. This book, I'm going to cry, is priceless. You know, the art pieces, the spirit squares that I do that are so custom and specific to other people's healing journeys, their spirits, it's worth more than money, you know, and I love it so much, but it's not paying the bills. You know, my mom reminded me of the faith that I need to have today. You know, she reminded me of a story that's in the book. I see Precious just popped on, so I'll wait on reading that. But she reminded me of a time when she was homeless and had nothing but $200 in her bank account and was in an abusive relationship, living in a garage, no heat, nothing, and just hit rock bottom. And she went out to the woods to pray one day, fell to her knees and surrendered and said, I need out. I need out, but I don't know how to get out. Show me the way. And literally before she left the woods, her phone started ringing off the hook, and she had multiple calls offering her all these different employment opportunities. Like, you know, one lady down the road was old as dirt and didn't want to pick up her dog poop in her yard. She's like, if you can come by twice a week, I'll pay you $100 a week and you can come and do this. And so $50 every time she's going to go scoop poop. Who gets paid that? And by the grace of God, she got that call. You know, she got a job before she went to work, driving her boss's daughter to school because she had to go to work too early. You know, and that was paying her several $100s a week. So my mom, within a few months time, was able to leave the abusive relationship. She's currently living in her own place that, you know, and everything's beautiful and pristine. She's not being abused. She's got plenty of money in the bank, all this stuff. And it was all because she got down on her knees and surrendered and prayed and said, God, deliver me from this burden. When you have that faith to go and ask, that's when it happens, you know? So now that I done and got the emotions already started, Dr. Deborah says, Melissa, your show is so needed. We need to find you some sponsors. That'd be great, girl. Hook it up. Hook it up. I receive. Anybody wants to sponsor, I will happily receive. Hey, Brittany, how are you doing today? I can't wait to see you this live. I can't wait. Brittany just got a brand new computer for Christmas, and she did her first live today. So listen, I got these emotions already started. The soul doctor herself has finally entered the building.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey. You know, we had the last part of the year, everybody trying to get their hair done before the new year pop in. So I was twisting somebody up, but I'm here.
I'm glad that you made it. And I still haven't. I had to take matters in my own hands this year and cut my own hair. And I'm like, man, I'm dying to go get my hair did. It's been, I think, 2 years since I've had it cut, honestly, besides the little hack job I did myself the other day, or like a couple months back.
A couple of months ago. I remember I told
yours is looking good. Yours is looking good. And I love your wrap. I love
Thank
that color.
you. I got it down for you. You know how you love it.
I know this girl's hair. I swear. Her hair goes down to what? Like your calves?
Yeah, like the back of my thigh. That's why you always see it up, because it is hot.
It's hot, but it's so gorgeous. I think you have the prettiest hair I've ever seen.
Thank
you. And my daughter Charlotte, I think she's got like the blonde that's like thick as a horse's mane. And you just, yours are so pretty and flowing and feminine. I love it. So I'm glad that you're here. And yeah, so we're talking about lessons of 2020, your greatest lessons of 2020, and then what you want, what you're choosing your legacy to be for 2021. Okay. I already let everybody know. We can just skip ahead to 2021 and then we can go back to our lessons, because I did already tell everybody for 2021, I am embracing faith for 2021. And I have a little mantra that I'm going to just completely repeat over and over and over and over again until I don't have to repeat it anymore. And it's that mustard seeds move mountains. That's going to be my thing for 2021. I've been getting nothing but repeat messages from so many people, even people I don't even know. It's like God's got the dials turned in on me saying, faith, that's what you need. And everything's going to bust wide open for you. Trust, I've got your back. So I'm embracing faith. And then my word of 2021 is going to be be me, be still, let it be, all of the bees. Embrace the bee and know that mustard seeds move mountains. So what do you have planned for going into 2021? And then we'll go over, like, what did we learn in 2020?
Well, my plan for going into 2021 as the new ordained soul doctor is I'm launching my phone call. I'm launching a line where you can call the soul doctor.
Ooh, 1-800 soul doctor. I love it.
1-800 soul doctor. So the whole mission is it is going on the premise of from suffering in silence. And so it's no more, sis. No more suffering in silence. Time to go from secret pain, that's suffering in secret, into secret healing. And so I see that often. I speak to a lot of people over the phone, and it's so much easier for them to transition with the conversation because they can go through their emotional experience without me even seeing them, but actually doing what I do best. And them,
yes, we don't cry pretty, do we? We don't cry pretty. So it's not a lie. We try to hide that.
And you know why we suffer in silence for so long is because we don't want nobody to know that we are crying about these things. Right. And so I find that having that secret conversation or just those private conversations have helped so many people. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to launch my soul doctor line. And I'm going to do it. I'm doing an introductory where, because I do a 30-minute where it's live and you're doing an actual Zoom, I charge the $97 since it's on a phone and I can be anywhere. So it makes it easier for me to do. I'm splitting it in half. So for $48.50, you get a 30-minute life call with the soul doctor, guarantee.
That's huge.
And shift every part. And because I'm launching it, what I'm going to do is for everybody who sets themselves an appointment, they can get a friend call in, so they can get a free friend call for somebody else. So when they call, because I think that when you got two to touch and agree who got that same mindset, you don't feel alone. So it's about building your community through my gift. And so if you get a call, you can sign up somebody else for free on me to serve them, because I know that at the end of the day, what I'm offering is so much bigger and it's priceless. So I sat down and I wrote it all out. And so I'm working on my flyer. I'm working on my audio, which is going to go out for people to register. I'm going to put it on my website where you can book, and then you get the email and we'll set a time that's convenient for you. And as long as it's available, first come, first serve, that's how I'm going to start out, becoming the soul doctor on the line.
Man, oh man, that's amazing. So you get 2 phone calls for under $50.
For under $50.
A phone call for you and a phone a friend for $50.
As an introductory, because I know once they start talking about them phone calls, I ain't going to have enough hours in the day. So whoever starts, they get stuck at that rate. So you have a lifetime call to the soul doctor for $48.50 if you come in at this rate, because I know where I'm going. So reserve your price at that spot. So whenever you say, you know what, all I need is to speak to the soul doctor, you could put your call in, and no matter where I'm at, your price will always be $48.50, because God honors where you are when you take the step. And so I'm going to do the same thing.
And I like what you said there too. Before you came on, I was going through the whole thing. What you're doing is priceless. What I do is priceless. This book is priceless.
Yes.
This book, priceless. You know, the art, the coaching, priceless.
Yes.
You know, the stuff that I'm wearing, the shame and the pain turned into power and gain.
Priceless. What I went through to create that shirt. It is the core of me. That shirt. If you guys don't have that shirt or that bag, that is the core of my whole existence, to get on the highway to purpose, to turn that shame and pain into power. You hear me? And self-like, because it is something else. To like yourself is to be favored. To love yourself is to just be seen. But to like yourself is to be favored for who you see when you look in the mirror. And to
turn that shame and pain into something beautiful.
Yes.
Priceless. You know what I'm saying? So I think now that is going to be one of the lessons that I learned in 2020, actually. And I got it from Bill this morning. And I hope he gets to watch this replay, because he started my morning out with the happy today. Obviously, I didn't wake up on time. I'm giving myself till January 2nd to go back to 7 a.m. So I told him I'll be replaying till then. But he had a wonderful happy today this morning, and for whatever reason, it was hitting every chord of my heart. And he had mentioned having your worth attached. He was talking about worth, and then he said, and then I look at the bank account, and I was like, oh, that's exactly how I feel right now, you know?
But that's why I teach you investment.
Right. And
that's the bottom line. When we understand that we are working on God's investment, see, we are God's investment. See, what we pour into is our investment, but the fact that you have breath means that God invested in you, which means when you invest in something, when I buy that house, I don't get my equity out the house until after I've lived in it, and to after I've taken care of it, and to after I've proven to be able to get a return, because I showed up on my payments. I actually took care of the home. So then when they came to reevaluate my home, to appraise it, that I got a higher price because of how I spent the time in that home, how it can now be the down payment to my dream home. And so we can invest by hiring ourselves in the small times, whether it's 40 hours a week or 20 hours a week. Now we're giving unto ourselves, and eventually an investment is a huger return than an immediate exchange. And so we want that immediate exchange because we see our immediate bills. But if we are in the faith walk, right, in the immediate promise that is attached to where we're going, our process, then now we understand that because our promise is attached to the process, now we know that the investment is really the places that you don't see the return until later. Yep. I didn't know that my daughter would be who she is today, 19 years ago, when God said, you are responsible for her. I didn't know that all of the things that I was pouring into her will return itself 7 times over. But it was because of what I was given and how I took care of that thing, which gave me the return of my desires. So God said, I gave you those desires so you could work on the plan I have for you, because the only way you were going to fulfill the dream was through the process. So I needed you to see the promise, because that's what you're working toward. If I know that I am guaranteed to win that inheritance when I turn 21, I'm going to work to 21. If anybody watched Power, I love Power, the book of Ghosts. And the young boy, in order for him to gain his inheritance, he had to finish college in 3 years. Now, that means that he knows that something is set up. So somebody already invested in your return if you will complete this. And I think that is knowing your worth. It is being able to recognize that it has already been invested in, that you had already been co-signed, that there is something waiting but is inside of you. And that once you get to that level of understanding, then you release all of that investment that was stored up in you. So it's like, yeah, the worth has nothing to do. And that all of us had that problem. That's why I didn't know my value. That's why I was giving myself away, because I wanted to prove to people that if you gave me a chance, I could change your life. And God wanted me to prove to myself that if I saw myself, then I can change my own life. And through my evidence, then I would be who I want them to see. And so through your evidence and through everybody that you touch, you become the testimony of God. And that is why we understand that our worth is better when God is going to give us a return, because the joy that I get is not in that bank account. And the laughter that I have is not in that bank account. So when I measure it to quality over quantity, I am the richest person in the world, because everything about my life is abundant. Even when my bill is due, God will send somebody to get their hair done. So I can have faith that because I'm investing, whether I got the return or not, that he covers me every step of the way until he opens up the door to say, you got more than you can receive. But it's because you were willing to work out of nothing first. So I want to prove to him that nothing is enough, that I'm going to show up in nothing so that he know he could trust me with everything.
Amen. Amen to that. And yeah, Bill said this morning, I'm worthy beyond the bank account. And that made me, that's why I started going on this, and it hit me. And I was like, you know, I even came out in my conversation with my mom too. I'm like, the things that I do are priceless. They're worth, like, I am worth what I do, who I am, what I put out into this world is worth so much more than the bills that I need, the money I need to pay my bills, you know? So to me, I was like, you know, I was asking my mom, I'm like, I started looking for jobs last night and today, like I work at home, part-time stuff, but I'm like, if I'm doing what I love to do and God put that stuff in me, you know what I mean? Am I supposed to walk away from that to pay the bills? Am I supposed to like, what am I supposed to do with this? Am I not doing enough? Am I supposed to quit this and trade it for that? Because I can't do it all. I can't do all of it. You know, I can't do the homeschooling and the full-time job and a part-time job and the this and the that and write a next book and keep doing the art and all this other stuff and work a job and homeschool the kids. I mean, I could, but I'm not trying to be out till 2 o'clock in the morning making cocktails for anybody. Did that. And I about killed myself. I'm not even playing. That was too much. You know, I know God wants more for me, but I when I get in these modes, in these moments, I question, I'm like, have I been hearing him wrong? Because what I'm doing feels like it's so worth everything. But it ain't paying the bills. And and you know, there's a fine line of like, okay, I have to sacrifice, I have to be responsible. What do you want? What would Jesus do?
You know what? You know? Well, Melissa, there's only one reason why we don't pay the bills, because we don't listen to the whole story. I love when they talk about the story about the woman who had the gift and she had the oil, the anointing on, and God said, Jesus said, go out there and borrow pots. And as long as there are pots to borrow, which is relationship. So he said the gift was her all. So she had to figure out what she was holding. And then the command was to go borrow pots. And as long as she had pots to borrow, that she would never run out of the anointing, the gift that he had given her. And so you had to create relationships, which is what you did. So it's in the order that we get to the promise. So now that I found my gift, that was the first work. Otherwise, I was working on somebody else's job instead of doing God's work. So now that I know the gift, even if I'm on a job, because I'm working in what is serving me, then I still stay full. So now when you borrow the pots from the relationships you built by how you showed up, you can continue to pour. But he didn't say give those pots away. He said to sell them. And I think the hardest part is to sell the thing that comes so effortlessly to you. So you had to start sitting down and doing the math. You had to say, well, what if I could make $100 a day? Now let me sit with what I have and wonder what would gain me $100 a day, which is a goal. I'm setting a goal for myself, but I'm not just being faithful. I'm not just wishing something. I'm now going to implement that. So now I'm going to say, if I got if I want to make $100 a day, what do I have? So let's say you have your book. Let's say you have the bag. So you tell yourself one book is $25 in color. If I sell 2 books a day, that's $50 a day? What is $50 times 30? What could be my profit if I took what he gave me, which is priceless, and I borrow the information from other people to start a show, to write the book, to actually coach somebody. So now that was borrowed information because of relationships. So I didn't have the money to do it, but because God let me show up and God let me give what I had and barter with you and you barter with me, now he said, those are the pots you need. So now I need you to take that structure. I need you to go on YouTube University. I need you to call a friend that's willing to give you advice. I need you to speak to somebody that's doing what you're doing. I need you to study under the person that you like, how they are forming or what they are breeding. And now I want you to take that skill and I want you to sell what I gave you. And then I want you to see that you are the money. One of the most powerful things my cousin, a friend of mine, said to me, okay? He said, I was saying, I got to go get to the money. And you know what he said to me? He said, you don't need to get to the money. You need to go look in the mirror and realize you are the money. And I only gave you that same information because for so long I devalued what I had because I did it so freely. And I didn't know what I was offering until people like you would come back and say, wow, that was so powerful. Till I seen the kids grow up around me that say it was because you said this. It wasn't until, so I mean, I know that promise only comes after process. And so if you get caught in the process of it, you forget that God had equipped you for the promise. So that dream I had was where I was going. It was going to make me get up. It's going to make me share this poem. It's called Wishing on a Star.
Oh, God.
Crying and waiting, holding on to a dream, never hesitating that life isn't what it seems. You know this journey that you're on leads to the same place, but as you're making different detours, you can't keep the tears from rolling down your face. When will I open the door to this dream I've held on to for so long? When will I complete the lyrics to ending this sad song? For it seems day after day I'm getting further from where I want to be. And I'm crying out to God to come and rescue me. Rescue me from this disappointment because things just won't go right. Throw in the towel before I get killed in this fight. But what he had to show me was that I had another round of fight to give. And he then gave me a sip of water and breathed the will in me to live. He said the dream that he gave me is what keeps me going. And he wakes me up with this purpose without me ever even knowing that the dream that he gave me sustained the life he placed in me, which made me want to strive and love who he created me to be. So I did not get so caught up in a dream, but embrace what it meant. Because giving me purpose is what the dream represents. So I will never let go of my dream. I mean, my purpose, no matter how long I wait, because God may not come when I want him, but he's never a minute too late. And that's what I want you to understand, that the process is you unlocking the $1 million that's already in your mind, that you already got something assigned to you, that there is an inheritance with your name on it. And in order for you to retrieve and receive it, you got to go through the work of the investment God gave you with breath. And I think that's what your worth is found in the priceless moments that you recognize that quality beats quantity every single time. And that's what 365 is teaching you. It's that it's not about how much I got. It's about how much I got. And that can turn into money any day. Once you get the principles, it's just about selling what you got. That's it. That's it. And so you're on the way to your best life because you are in alignment for your assignment, which means that not a thing will be void to you. Anything you ask for is yours because you realize that you're your own magic. You create the moments and God will honor every moment that you show up in because he's already waiting there for you. He set it up for you to meet him there. Not for you to get to him. He waiting. I'm not for him to get to you. He's waiting for you to get to him. He's waiting on you.
I needed that word, man. You got me all discombobulated over here. I needed that, though. I needed that all day. And it's been hitting me in the head. Let's take a minute here and go through the comments while I recompose. And I love and hate when you read that poem every time. I've heard you read it probably 25 times in our years together, and every time I can never get through it without tears. ever.
I'm finally not crying. I wrote that poem over 15 years ago, and I'm still going toward my dream. I know that one day I'm going to wake up and it's going to be the moment that I invested all this time into. I'm not concerned about my return. I'm just making sure that I am in good soul posture for the day that I arrive, because I want to be able to say that it was because I believed in who God called me to be that I showed up today with no cosign, but with every cosign. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And Dr. Deborah says, after the first quarter of the year, I will be fully unemployable. First, I was concerned about my impending layoff, but I am ready and God's got me.
Listen, why do I scream when somebody says they're unemployed? Yes!
Woo! I know. I was crying to my mom today.
The heavens are celebrating, because God said that let his will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Every time you hire yourself and get closer to what he called you to be with your soul print, then the heavens got a victory on earth. Every time we show up, the heavens are rejoicing because we showed up with the conditioning that we're in. That's what makes us honorable. Don't get me started, Melissa.
Dr. Deborah says you got her shouting over there.
Yeah,
you got me crying. She's shouting. All right.
Let me calm down. Let me calm down.
First time. Oh my gosh. Holy Ghost on time. That's right. Process comes before promise, of course. From coach to first class.
Come on now.
That part. Brittany says, we are the money. Yes. Yes. We are the money. Be the money. Do the money. So, do you have a specific lesson that you want to share that you learned in 2020? I have one or two more. We don't have to go through them all, but I would like to hear something you learned this year. Mine just made it worth.
You know, a great lesson I learned in 2020 was my ability to control my emotions.
All right. Elaborate.
I'm gonna elaborate. I'm a very emotional person.
Me too.
Emotion and how passionate I am as a soul coach, a soul doctor. I'm passionate like that in every area, right? And what I recognized early on in the pandemic with Chef Ron was a lot of our misunderstandings was because I couldn't control my emotion, which is why we all misunderstand. Because what I realized is that because I wanted a certain response, because I wanted a certain reaction, I react a certain kind of way. I expect a certain kind of thing. And in doing so, I lost the whole idea. So if you say something and I say something, I can basically dictate how the end of the conversation will go from practice behavior. So I know that I can either fan drama to it, right? I could give you the same energy, or I can choose to control myself and dictate exactly how I want the situation to end. I can remove myself and dictate exactly how I want it to be. So now I understand when you say you got into an argument, you got into a fight, how it's both people, because at any point, anybody could have chose to be the softer side of the conversation. Anybody could have chose to be the humbling part of the conversation. And in those ways, when we learn to control the way we feel, to actually stop and think about how this reaction will become, what will be the ending, where will we end up, by actually sitting in that moment and saying, well, if I do this, let me do this. Let me give you an exact example of one of the moments that I clicked so that it can make clear sense.
All right.
Rondell said, you know what? Let's take a nice bubble bath or whatever. So I say, okay, we're going to take a nice bubble bath. I set the bubble bath. I get it going. I put on the music, and then I look over at him, and I'm in my birthday suit, and I look over, and he's still like on the phone playing whatever, watching TV, and so I immediately got mad first, right? I got mad.
Yeah.
Promoting black. And I stopped because I'm being conscious now because I know I'm working on this. So that's what meditation is to be conscious when you're up, right? To really be in the moment, to really be present. So instead of me reacting like I can react, like getting in my feelings, like I went through all of this, the music is playing, you don't hear the music, the room, you can see me from here. Instead of doing that, I chose to stop, calm. I walked over to him. He was laying on the bed, fully dressed, watching TV and on the phone, and I just pulled off his shoe. And when he focused and saw me, he immediately put down the phone and went right and moved.
Right.
And I could have turned that into a cold bubble bath, the music off, and us on two ends of the bed by me just reacting out of that moment instead of not making it about me, to just realize he's just not paying attention, that we're not the same people, and that me just going over to initiate the conclusion I want by my reaction would give me better terms. Now I haven't mastered it. We've been married 19 years, and it's hard to have a stranger, not a stranger, right, to live with somebody outside of yourself for that long.
Right.
But to be conscious of the fact that we dictate how we go to sleep, and that we dictate the energy in our house, and that we can control our environment by simply changing those moments. That's why I say you become your magic by every abracadabra moment. And so the way I imagined the day ended, it ended because of how I responded when the test came. So that was my test. God was testing me, and I passed that day. Had a good night too.
I bet you did. I bet he had a good day. I'm the same way though too. Like, I gotta rub my cheeks. I'm smiling too much listening at your story. No, I'm the same way, man. Because Nate, my husband will bug for it all the time. And, when I finally get in that space, it's so funny how that happens. He'll be like all into football, like totally oblivious. Naked jumping jacks on a trampoline in front of him, and he would have no idea what's going on. But like, for as much as you want it, you're pretty blind, right? With that selective thing. But no, I like that. I'm actually going to keep that with me. I like that you have to breathe, act, don't react, right? Act, don't react. Okay.
And that you relate in relationships.
Yeah.
If I don't relate, then the ship can't take me where I'm trying to go, right? Because the ship is the movement. So if I relate in a relationship, then we can move to another step. So because I related instead of got in my own feelings and expected him to see it my way, I was able to move in the ship, in our relationship, in our marriage a little bit further. And so that's what I'm saying. If you're willing to keep on learning and be honest about where you don't got it right, no matter how perfect it looks, we're all working every day because we're all figuring out more stuff about ourselves, and nobody's going to unpack you like your journey buddy. And so that was important to learn that I don't have to react like that. I don't have to misconstrue the moment because I want him to think like me and be like me. That's why we are peanut butter and jelly, because we don't think alike. And if I want him to match, if I want us to be the sandwich, then I got to meet him where he is and don't take it personal, because it's not personal. It's just process.
All right. You have to forgive me. I'm not sure is it Charlande or Charlanda? Charlanda. You have to forgive me if I'm not pronouncing it right. And if you can phonetically put it in there so I do it right moving forward, just let me know. But she says, for a long time, I desired my own soul food kitchen. Well, as of 2 weeks ago, I'm the owner and CEO of CNJ's Soul Food Kitchen. Go, Queen. She said, nothing I did, but God, he opened the door and I walked through, and now I am the door. Some great things are in process. Wow. Thank you for sharing that.
And can I say one thing to add to that, Melissa? I don't want her to say nothing she did. I want us to start taking credit, because until we find ourselves deserving, we don't walk into what we deserve. Amen. And so it is not nothing you did. It is everything that you did in alignment
with what God put in you.
Co-sign for you to be great, because you still have to do the work. And it's almost like believing in Santa. There is nothing that you're not going to wake up and everything's going to be there. You're going to have to do the work to wrap the gifts and put it in there for somebody to get that excitement. So no, it is everything you did, plus the fact that you believe in the God piece that you were holding, you got that. So I want you to celebrate yourself as you deserve it, because you did the work. If it wasn't nothing you did, everybody would have it. That's the difference between people who are chosen and who see themselves, honey. Many are called, but few are chosen. You got to see that it is what you do that decides what you have and where you end up. You got to get up and make it happen.
You're following the call. God puts those desires in you. That desire was put in you before you even came out your mama. You know what I'm saying? God put that in you. So yes, what Precious is saying, you did that. He gave you that seed, but he didn't go and he didn't create that for you. God doesn't really do that. He puts you in the place to do it. He didn't just go dropping restaurants off to people. To do that.
Just doing that, honey.
So be proud. We celebrate you. I'm so proud of you. Yes. All right,
your magic, abracadabra. I can't wait for we go on tour with them. I can't wait for the people to come out in their those abracadabra moments. I'm looking at you, Melissa. You got me so crunk to see. You have no idea how you feed my investment. Like I'm just so proud of you. I'm
proud of you and grateful for you. Grateful for you and proud of you. We all keep growing every day.
Oh my God.
Even the best of the best. Even the best of the best still grow every day. You know? Brittany says, oops, Brittany went away. All right. Brittany says, I learned that God allowed COVID-19 to happen on purpose so that we can fulfill our purpose and tap into it. And I agree with you, Brittany. If God had forced us to rest, amen, we wouldn't have been able to tap into those hidden talents. And I'm right there with you. I believe that this was a intentional and purposeful pause for all of us. And I think that despite the people who have gotten sick and, God rest anybody that we've lost from it, I think everything out in the finances, there's those things that go along with it, but I think the overall big picture that's happened with COVID has been really good for us. I think as a whole, as a collective whole, as far as spirit and humanity and how we work together and see each other and where our needs actually lie, needs and wants and things like that. I think it's been a great pause and a great growing cycle for all of us. So I'm right with you on that.
You know what I say? It's awaken to the infection that is you. If COVID didn't teach us anything, it taught us that we are holding infections and that how we show up. It is like we are unconsciously infecting people with what we are carrying because we won't process it. We won't let it go in order to cocoon into the butterfly we were called to be. But we suffer in silence because we don't think anybody understands. We don't think that anybody sees. That's why it is about removing the shame and get it in your lane, because this season is about quality over quantity. It is no mysterious thing that we didn't get birthdays this year. I think in 2020, it was about us realizing that we are on assignment and that if we are going to be celebrating our breath, that it is bigger than the roles and titles. It is how are you infecting the world? What is somebody saying after you left them? What did they say about you showing up? Are you dropping something off? Are you picking something up? What are you doing? How much is your soul print making a difference in this world? And I think we were wasting our time. We were celebrating mediocrity. We were doing the bare minimal, but having huge dreams. And that so many people before us have worked so hard with way little, and that we are so out of control that we don't even have the mental capacity to equip our kids. Our kids, at this time, the suicide rate is at its highest peak. It is because we are not transparent enough. It is because we have lost what it was to be in joy, what it was to have fullness, quality, that family was enough, that having friends was enough. And we started to work toward what we have instead of who we are and
That's
what
right.
we are offering. We
That
can't
part.
even matter no more. Like we're missing so much. And so I think that what we learned in this season is that you are what is missing. You are what the world is waiting for. And it goes back to self-love initiative, because I choose me is going VIP, is getting a seat at God's feet. I want to be favored. And it costs more to go VIP. We
That's
all
right.
know that it costs more to get to the front of the room. So we got front of the room dreams, but we ain't got front of the room process. And that is where we're missing the connection. So God said, if I could isolate you, for you to pay attention that what I took you through is what are the tools you're holding so much that you're not using because you just forgot what I sent you to do. And so this time made us sit down and made us stop being dependent on other people, start being dependent on who we are, so that we can now barter better, so that we can better show up, so we don't feel drained because we're giving more of ourselves away than we have, and we getting little in return because we trust other people more than ourselves. So yeah, it's so much work to do.
Charlana said, which I think was really cool. Where'd she go here? She said, first of all, he's given me the power to get wealth. Won't he do it? You got a shirt that says it, don't you? You should show off your shirt.
I sure do.
Won't he do it? And that's the kind of God we serve. And Precious has this awesome bling bling shirt that she makes out of the I Choose Me Bling Boutique that says, won't he do it on there? And it's one of my favorites that she's done. You'll probably like this, Charlanda. Check it out. Won't he do it?
Yeah. Come on now.
I choose me. Hashtag no more excuses.
And then from right where you are, honey.
I think you need that shirt, Charlanda. She says in 2018, she painted a picture and said that when she signed it, she's walking into her purpose.
Come on.
I love that. Bill's here. Bill's on. He says,
hey, Bill.
Bill, we were talking about you earlier. Your morning show really tipped me over the edge and got my ball rolling for the day. And you missed Waterworks and everything. I love your happy todays. But yeah, I figured out based on you today that the bank account, I'm worth more than the bank account. I'm priceless. You know, I'm priceless. It doesn't matter what's in the bank.
Priceless.
So I thank you, Bill. That was such a huge shout out for you today. Thank you for showing up every day. And your show is awesome. And since you're here, Precious, and Dr. Deb's here, and William's here, guess what, guys? Last minute, guess who jumped on the bandwagon? I'm coming on the show with you guys tomorrow. For
really?
the group one word conversation. Yeah.
On Wednesday. You on tomorrow?
Tomorrow. You're showing up on the thing for tomorrow too. Maybe we have to text Bill afterwards.
29th or the 30th?
I don't know. The thing he sent me has you and Dr. Deborah on it, and he told me tomorrow. I'll follow up with him.
Oh yeah, our whole group is a group one. We all.
Yeah, I know. It was an epic show he did today. It was so cool. I told him I was real transparent. I was like, Bill.
No, me. Listen, listen. I love that. I love all of that. Listen. You know, I really love you guys. I really love you guys. Like William, Melissa, Dr. Deborah. Everybody. Let me tell you, that is a healing community. I love that my sister started following and she's listening to Dr. Deborah. She's listening to you. She's listening to William. And you know what she called me and she said, you have the perfect community. You all are healers. And I thought, you are so right. Everybody is a healer. And I love that we are healing the most essential part, the spirit and soul. That is the most essential part. And I think that that's what it is about. It's about essential workers. And in 2020, which is gaining clarity into God's favor, is recognizing that the most essential part of you is your soul.
Amen.
It is your mind.
Your soul.
That's it.
I'm with you. So I'm very excited whenever we do. I'm supposed to be with you guys, I guess. So I'm excited to do that. I'm really proud of Bill for rocking that, because I was telling him, I'm like, I didn't accept your invite in the first situation because I was really scared of what was going to happen with all of us on the screen, and I don't know anybody. And then there was 10 people. I told him, I said, this was epic. I have never seen such a grand display on a live stream ever. So I was like, if you have any room, can I come on? That was an awesome experience to watch. I want to be part of it. So he said I could join. He sent me a link. So hopefully it'll be with you and Dr. Deb. I don't care if it's who it's with, but
excited.
Proud of Bill and keep up the good work. You showing up every day helps us show up every day and show up even bigger and better. So, and okay, Dr. Deb, she says, Precious, we got to get you out on the circuit. Some truth here,
the
Queen.
soul doctor got ordained on the 21st, honey. She is on fire in here. Yesterday I was talking to my dad. He was like, please go live. Please go live. Oh my God. I was like, listen, guess what one of my words are?
What?
One of my words are men are trying not to be a Samson instead of trying to be a Joseph. Mm.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
You can imagine what that word going to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. And Dr. Deborah
taking advantage instead of being a Joseph. You know what Joseph is?
What's that?
Joseph who was with Mary when
Jesus is daddy.
Come on now. So you got to think about that mentality of a man to support a queen who had to explain about a baby that's in the womb. So how many of us are carrying babies that they don't understand, that they don't know where it came from, that they don't understand that they put in the seed and we nurture it, but you always need a protector. So we need a Joseph. I'm blessed to have a Joseph. You're blessed to have a Joseph. Dr. Deborah is blessed to have a Joseph because we get to be who we are because God gave us a Joseph. And so instead of worrying about a Samson or find yourself a Joseph or become a Joseph. Because I promise you.
That's right. Or be the Joseph. Mm-hmm. Dr. Deborah. Oh, wait, where's she? Oh, Charlana says, thank you. She says, coming up in here with a hallelujah. And she loves that shirt, Precious.
Thank you.
Like, I need it. You can get it at preciouspauling.com or the I Choose Me Bling Boutique.company.site. I'll post all of the links in the comments below. So all you have to do is just click it and it'll take you right to the spot. Brittany says, I am what the world is missing.
Period.
Dr. Deborah says, all of us.
We're not missing
Yes. Let's see. And Dr. Deborah, she's going to be on live tomorrow night at 8:30 doing a healing moment with Dr. Deborah. I certainly always tune in for those because I cry and I heal every time.
I know. I love Dr. Deborah.
She said, Dr. Deborah.
She's one of the people I could clock into when I'm high myself and and I was like, okay, I have to have an hour of time. I could clock into William. I could clock into you. I could clock it, and I get time for that because it's feeding my bottom line.
It makes a difference in your spirit and your soul, and that's that was part of what I was telling my mom today. I'm like, working for the man to me is like giving up on my dream, but I know my dream's not paying the bills right now. So I'm like, that's going to be like the new I Hire Me challenge where I'm going to have to find a way to balance everything.
Because you don't have to. You just got to we just got to sell a certain amount of books. That's it. We're gonna
I know. Buy my books, man.
That's it. We can sell 2 books a day will keep you home.
I know it. 2
books a day will keep you home, and we could do that. You're giving out way more than enough for 2 books a day to keep you home. It's like listen, you can adopt a family today. 2 books a day. Keep all these
$2 a day. Yes.
Do you really want to invest in the village? Come on now. We know we could get that done, Melissa. I think we can definitely help you hire yourself.
I'm trying. And I know there's a lot of people out there trying right now. And it's just for everybody, I love Bill says right there. He agrees with you. We are healers. And I agree. All of us are. I think every human being is a healer.
Absolutely.
You just have to find what it is inside of you and let it go.
Themselves. Yep. Mm-hmm. It's already there. That's why it just got to be activated. I love that. What is her name? Sarah Jakes. She uses Activate. I think her name, Sarah Jakes, and she says activate, and I had to look up activate, 1-word conversation, and it basically goes on what we're saying. It's already in there. You just gotta shake it up to be served.
Yeah,
Oh,
Actually, that's funny that you said that. Now that just brought something to my mind. Yeah, like aren't there certain drinks? Like you even think of like the those little like Crystal Light strips, those little powder packs. You've got like your packet of ingredients and then you've got your water, but unless you put one into the other and shake it all up vigorously too. It's not just using.
And I'll give you one better.
It doesn't work.
One better is you just anything you buy. This is already complete. If I sit it there after a while, the ingredients start to separate. And all of them bottles, when you buy it, it says you don't got to open it up because it's already come like this. So you're already complete. So once I buy this item, it says shake before serving. Why they tell me to shake before I serve it? So that everything that began to separate as it was sitting on the shelf mends back together to be the consistency and the potency of what it was created to be.
What it was intended to be.
Yes. It's shaking you up to serve yourself. That's what we come to do. We just settle. You already got everything you need. Somebody just need to shake you.
That's right. And so when we're going through this shit,
that's right.
It's a good thing to remember. I'm being shaken, not stirred.
Not stirred.
Being put back to the way I was intended to be. And sometimes it don't feel good.
And you know? That's right.
That's Bill right. says, wow, my middle name is Joseph.
What?
Well,
so that means that she got her Joseph.
No, you're already a Joseph. You don't need to even worry about Samson. You know?
And so now we got Will I Am Joseph Brown. What a name.
I am Joseph Brown. Up in town. Yeah.
Joseph Brown. Come on now. I ain't know that, William.
So we need another shirt.
On that.
We need another shirt. We're going to keep you busy with shirts, Precious. I need the mustard seeds move mountains. We need the Will I Am shirt. Yes, we're going to keep you busy. But won't he do it? 2 books a day and a deck of cards will keep me home. Mm-hmm.
That's, I mean, that's 2021. You saw that? I think you.
Oh, oops. I missed it. There we go. 2021. I'm introducing a new program called You Are Essential.
I love that.
Woo! I'm so excited.
I'm going to tell you, honey, we got programs. You got programs.
Bill's announcing this stuff all randomly up in here, and we're like, how come we didn't know about it? You got to tell us, Bill. Stop hiding.
He's launching. You know how we be. We debut on each other's show. Look, I just debuted The Call Doctor. I've been working on it, and I'm like, listen, wait, Melissa, but I'm Call the Doctor now. Like, we just excited. We just figured it out.
Oh man, I love it. I love everybody that's tuning in. I just love working with all of you. I do. And talking with all of you. Jolanda says October was the rain, November. Oh wait, October was the rain. November was the abundance. We are now on the path of overflow. I received that.
Miss Wallace, you are in the right room today.
Oh,
yes.
She says my baby boy's name is Joseph, and I have a Joshua as well.
Come on now.
Oh, the Joseph's hitting home today.
Stand-up man.
She was dropping a word with Joseph. Mm-hmm. I have a cousin named Joseph. Bill says, when I hang out with you guys, I just tell it. You have to, because we don't give you any choice. You were trying to save your word of the year till like next week. And I was like, tell me, Bill, I can't wait. You know? Well, oh my goodness. It has been a full 2020. And we've learned, we've grown and evolved. And man, I've discovered some parts of me that I didn't know existed, you know, and I have gained some clarity. I've gained a lot of knowledge, inspiration. I've gained a lot of wisdom and guidance. And I guess,
you conquered a lot of fears.
Yeah, I conquered some fears, and yes, I really think like faith is the key for next year and for pushing out the rest of this year. I think faith was a huge thing for us this year. I don't think I wouldn't be here with the mindset that I have at this moment, which isn't perfect in any stretch of the imagination. If you don't believe that, just watch the beginning of the show or any of the other ones. But I'm just saying.
But that peace you have is
Matters.
perfect, and that's what matters.
Mm-hmm.
Your
Faith
peace is
matters.
perfect.
And
Yeah.
our lessons, everything that we've all gone through shit this year. All of us have gone through stuff this year and every year of our life. The
Yeah.
stories matter. That's why we're here. This is what we leave behind. If we kept our mouths shut on all this pandemic and everything we learned to do during it and what we grew into, and we didn't tell anybody from the next generation, how's the world going to be? We have to share so that other people grow. Other people grow and they don't feel alone. And the more we all share collectively and put it out there, the better the world will be. We will be connected. You know, we are connected. I want everyone to see how connected we are. And I want everyone to feel connected. I want everyone out there to feel as much a part of this as I do. You know, it's a game changer when it comes to the strength of your heart and your spirit. So, do you have anything you would like to leave everyone with as far as running out of 2020 and into 2021?
This
Some
is
lessons, legacy you want to drop?
Yes, I definitely do. I sat and I thought about 2020, and we had our ups and we had our downs. But I sat and thought about the ups. I'm like, okay, so I launched my I See Me Academy in 2020.
Woo!
To launch my boutique during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Just launched my new title, Soul Doctor. Just launched my Call the Soul Doctor. And so if I can leave anything with anybody, and I'm still a mom of 5 kids.
Five kids. This one's got 5 kids.
All our home.
Plus a husband.
Plus
they count for 2.
That one
husband counts as a kid. So like she got like 7 kids up in there, basically.
Right. So with all of that, what I realize is moving into 2021, I would only urge you guys to not carry anything into 2021 that is heavier than you. Yeah. You know, and you know the concept.
Yeah.
After you give birth, having given birth 5 times, the one thing the doctor tells you to do is to be careful that you do not strain your uterus, that you do not go beyond what you can carry right now where you're at this open state. So we are very vulnerable as we are shifting into a new year, because you get anxiety on what you didn't have. You get anxiety on what you want for tomorrow. And so I ask that you would release yourself, that you would give up what you didn't get, that you would embrace what you want for tomorrow, and that you would flow into 2020 lighter than who you are, so that your womb can carry whatever desire you have for tomorrow.
Your life for tomorrow, the life of tomorrow. Your womb will carry the life of tomorrow.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. And so make sure that seed, that baby that you're giving birth to, that you don't put more than you can bear. So after you give birth to that baby, it is your responsibility to not carry anything that is heavier than that thing. And so if it is making you drown, but this is your baby, and this means more than anything else, take care of your baby. Do not put anything before your baby, because the way you take care of your womb is how you'll take care of everybody else's womb. You teach people how to treat you, and you learn how to treat others how you treat yourself. So value who you are. Be okay. Celebrate right where you are, and move into 2021 knowing that you have the power to create any abracadabra moment that leads you to your magic. So you know what I love to say. You can never turn on anybody else's light, but you can provide enough light for them to find their switch. So stay lit in this world so somebody can find their way out of the darkness. It is your responsibility. That is the baby that you can carry. So when God puts you in a room with somebody who is lighter than you, please help carry them, because that's your assignment, that your womb can handle. So carry that which your womb can handle, please.
It's an emotional one today. My goodness. Charlonda says, the soul doctor and soul food need to communion more. Bill says, amen and amen again. Charlonda says, come on and teach. Bill says you just need that mustard seed faith and don't be afraid to use it.
Don't be afraid to use it.
And Dr. Deb, all right now. I can see her and her. Come on. Oh,
as
my
2020
gosh.
vision goes, the closer I get to me, the better I'm able to see who I was called to be. It's assignment time. That's what I leave you for. Remember that.
Well, listen. Oh my gosh.
I'm so glad I made it.
I should not wear makeup on Mondays.
Not on Mondays. You can't wear makeup on Mondays. You know we are crybabies.
Charlonda said too, this was, I forgot to read that one out loud, but she said this was her very first time tuning in and she's so grateful that she did. And we want to say thank you so much for tuning in.
And sharing. Look how quickly she shared.
I know. I appreciate
ready to jump in. She tuned in, a stranger, but became a friend. She is Zena Tokyo.
She is Zena Tokyo. That's an X word. That means you are kind and friendly to strangers, and that's actually in
Zena Tokyo
cards. Yep. Well, listen, I can't thank you, all of you, enough for joining in and wrapping up 2020 with us and sharing lessons and legacies. And Precious, she's here with me every Monday, sometimes other days too. We go bounce back and forth, but you'll always see me Monday through Friday at 2:00 here on Lessons and Legacies, also on YouTube. If you liked here and shared here, that's only one more click if you want to go to the YouTube page and subscribe. Just saying. You will always see Precious and I together, and William Brown, who's on here, Dr. Deborah's on here, Brittany was on here. They've all been in and out and part of the show too. Charlonda, if you're interested in coming on the show, just reach out. Would love to do the same thing with you.
Have you on.
Share your story. Let your lessons become a legacy for the world to grow by and glow by. Grow and glow by. Ooh, I'm developing that there. And Precious, my sister, my best friend, my soul buddy from many, many moons ago, I'm sure. I think you and I have been sisters in many lives. I can't thank you enough, not just for coming on the show, but just the impact and what you do in this world.
Don't make me cry. I've been good this whole hour.
I've been crying the whole time, and I hate it when I do it, but I'm telling you, like, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you and you showing up. So thank you for believing in me and having faith in me and for coaching me through all of it. You're definitely a soul doctor. And if anybody wants to get in touch with Precious, look her up on Facebook, Precious Pauling, or you can find her at preciouspauling.com. You can give her email.
Get on my nerve.
Is it Precious Pauling at Gmail? Golly. I have somebody coming over to visit me in like 30 minutes, and I'm like, I'm fine, really. Everything's
so glad cry. Look. We look rosy.
Yes, rosy, and yeah.
Yes.
But we're still pretty. We're priceless, right?
Still priceless.
So we love you guys. Thank you again, Precious, for everything, for all that you are. And we will see you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 2. I'm not sure what I'm doing yet, but it will be spoken and gifted to me by the spirits before midnight, as usual. So, so I'll see you guys at 2. Again, thank you for joining us on Lessons and Legacies, lucky number episode 15. And yeah. Embrace the lessons of 2020 and get ready for the legacy. Choose the legacy you want to leave for 2021. It's all your choice. We love you guys, and we'll see